This conference will now be recorded.
Start. Today I'll send you the system connection
Yes, sir. I
details.
got, yeah, yes, sir. I
You
got
can
that,
also,
yeah, bank detail. I will send today, sir.
yeah, no problem, no problem. Okay, start. Okay, so yesterday we started with the FICA as the subledger accounting system
Yes, sir.
and comparison with the standard accounts receivable. Basically, what we know by now is in the case of general SAP, we have the subledger accounting system consisting of customer accounts, vendor accounts, and assets. Customer accounts are basically classified as the receivable accounts. Vendor accounts will be payable accounts. Assets are again their own category. But in case of some of the industry specific solutions like utility, insurance, telecom, we do not make use of the standard accounts receivable, and instead SAP will provide a cross application component and industry specific subledger accounting system which is called FICA. So the FICA replaces the standard accounts receivable in these industry specific solution. Initially SAP started FICA with three solutions: utility, insurance, telecom. Then it was made applicable for media and then public sector. And there were some companies which were using general SAP. They were not using any industry specific solution. They were using general SAP. But because of the requirement of their business where accounting is happening, they also had the same need what you require in the case of utility or insurance. That means they need to process large amount of accounting data. So they wanted to have something like FICA in the system instead of the standard accounts receivable. Okay. So then SAP started providing something called FICA Extended. Okay. This FICA Extended is basically non-industry specific FICA. It is something what can be installed in general SAP, where instead of using the accounts receivable, they can go for the FICA Extended. That means in whenever you say FICA, it is industry specific cross application component used across many industry specific solutions like insurance, telecom, and utilities. But FICA Extended is not an industry specific, subledger accounting system, but it is something that is purchased and installed in the general SAP instead of using the standard accounts receivable. So that's how FICA Extended came into the picture. There are many companies who will use it. Now, let us see what are the features of the FICA as applicable to SAP utilities. And basic idea why I'm taking SAP utilities because that's what I have the system here. But in general, whatever the features are there for FICA, they are in general applicable to all the solutions, whether it is utilities or telecom or insurance. The features are the same with some minor differences here and there. Otherwise, the overall, the features will remain the same. Okay. Then we will see the life cycle of open items, accounting transactions, and the master data. Okay. Now, let us take one particular FICA document, what has been posted in the utilities. Otherwise, let me first start with the basic business process in utility, how it starts. Okay. Now, as you know, utilities is a solution which is an ERP, industry specific solution for the utility companies. The utility companies basically provide utility services like electricity, gas, water. Now, all these services are basically called as utility divisions, and the consumers are basically maintained in the system as business partners. But for the preparation of invoice, we maintain a contract account for the BP. So the BP replaces customer. In general SAP, customer is there, and in the customer itself, we are maintaining the company code data, the accounting related information. So in general SAP, you have customer. In ISU, we have BP. You can extend it to telecom and insurance. There also you have BP. And here we have the customer account, which is basically customer number extended as customer account with the company code data. But here, instead of customer account, you'll be having contract account. And this contract account we are creating using FICA. That's the whole idea here. Now, in case of IS utility, another very important master data will come, which is basically called the contract. The contract may be or may not be there in the other solutions, but in ISU, the contract is the heart of the ISU. Basically, what is contract? Suppose I'm a business partner, I'm staying in an apartment, and I'm availing utility services. Let's say the company is providing all the three utility services like electricity, gas, and water. Okay. Now, I will have to have three contracts, one for electricity, one for water, one for the gas. Okay. So the contract becomes the basic, prerequisite for billing. Unless there is a contract, you cannot do the billing. That's why in ISU, we call it as contract billing. What we're billing every month is a contract. But billing itself is happening with a lot of other processes happening before. Once those processes are completed, we do the billing and then the invoicing. So basically, in a typical process which is called meter to cash, we call it as meter to cash. That means right from creating metering order till the payment is collected from the business partner, what is the process? That complete end-to-end chain of business process is called meter to cash. Okay. So basically, how does it start? First, to create a meter reading order. This metering order is basically created for the meter. Let's say electricity meter is there or water meter. Okay. So create a metering order. Based on metering order, the person will basically read the consumption. Okay. Read the meter. That means I go to the meter and then see what is the reading for the particular month. And then based on that, you can calculate what is the consumption for the period. Okay. After reading the meter, we enter the results in MR, enter results of MR, metering results. And then it will do validation, whether these readings are acceptable or not acceptable. In case suppose it is not acceptable because it is crossing the validation, it will be kept aside as implausible. That means we cannot bill it, but it has to be looked into and then corrected and then released. Then it can go for the billing. Okay. So enter the metering results and validations will happen. If suppose the validations have passed, the readings have been accepted, okay, then they are released for the billing. Then what to do? We create the ISU billing execution document. Okay. While billing we are billing the contract. That means whenever we do the billing, we are billing a specific contract. If suppose the business partner is having more than one contract, we have to do the billing separately. We cannot merge the billings into one single execution. Water, electricity, gas. Suppose there are three contracts. We have to bill them separately for each and every contract account holder. But after the billing, there is some possibility of combining them into invoice. Okay, that's called joint invoicing. So as far as billing is concerned, we are billing independently. Okay. After that, we prepare what you call invoice. That is a basic, print document, what you call. Now, invoice preparation requires a contract account. Okay. Unless you have a contract account, we cannot prepare the invoice. So using the contract account, we are preparing the invoice, and it is basically taking the data from the billing documents which have been processed. For each billing document, I can have separate invoice. Suppose the BP is having three contracts. That means three invoices, three billing documents. Then I can take three invoices. Each billing document, I can prepare one invoice. But if required, I can also combine them into one single invoice. So when it comes to invoicing, it loses the division specific. Division specific will only come till the billing. After that, invoicing, it is only specific to contract account. So I prepare invoice, either individual or joint invoicing. Now here, one important thing will happen. When you prepare the billing document, that time the system will do account determination. There's the revenue account determination and reconciliation account determination. In SD, there's no need of any reconciliation account determination. It is already fixed in the customer master. Like yesterday I showed you, for the business partner 90,000, customer 90,000, in the company code data, we had one reconciliation account, 2,40,000. That is fixed already. Okay. But in case of ISU, contract account we create, but it not have any reconciliation account, because reconciliation account is not fixed in the ISU. It is in FICA, sorry. It is something which has to be determined because it varies. It varies according to the type of billing or invoicing or a FICA process what we are doing. Like for consumption billing, we have one reconciliation account. For manual billing, there's one reconciliation account. Or let's say, for example, move out billing, when the business partner will vacate the premise, that time one billing. Or you're doing some budget billing. In all these scenario, your billing documents are going to be created. But for each of the billing document, there is a corresponding reconciliation account. The system will determine the reconciliation account along with the revenue accounts. Okay. Now, in a typical invoice, what will be the line items? Actually, line items are coming from the billing document. Suppose if I say billing document, okay. In the billing document, I have some line items charged. Line item means charged amount. How the amounts are charged, okay. The first line item is showing energy amount. Energy amount. This is the amount which is calculated based on the consumption. It is coming to 6,000 rupees. That is basically quantity into metering charges. Okay. 600 kilowatt hour, 10 rupees per kilowatt hour. So 6,000 rupees. Then the company is charging some standing energy. Okay. That is basically like a fixed energy charge. Irrespective of the consumption what you're doing, every month you have to pay some amount, which is actually annual amount, but we are collecting it monthly, pro rata basis. Okay. So let us say that is 500 rupees. Then we are adding some surcharges. We are adding some surcharges. Let us say that is coming to 400 rupees. Like in case of ESD, we saw there's a price, there's a discount, there's a freight, there's a tax. Okay. All these are called revenue items. In case of billing, like that, system will calculate various charges except the tax. Tax is not calculated in the billing document. The tax is calculated only in the invoicing. Okay. So here it is calculating three amounts, 6,000 plus 500 plus 400. So the total net value will be equal to 6,000 plus 500 plus 400. That is 6,900. But while preparing the billing document, the system will determine what is a GL account for the energy, what is a GL account for, the standing energy, and what is a GL account for the surcharges. So these are basically revenue accounts. So revenue accounts are determined based on the account determination rule, what we'll be setting up in the system. And then reconciliation account is also determined. Okay. Then we go to invoice. In the invoice, these amounts are again, put into the calculation, or they are actually copied into invoice. But now it is going to also add tax. Okay. So let us say tax is 10% of the net value. So it is going to be 690 rupees. Okay. Again, here system will do tax account determination. System will do the tax account determination in the invoice. That means all the GL accounts have been determined for all the revenue items. The tax account is determined in the case of invoice. And when you save the invoice, what will happen? Unlike in SD, it will not posting into financial accounting directly. It will post to FICA. So the invoice what we are preparing, it will be posting this particular invoice into FICA, that is the subledger accounting system. Okay, subledger accounting system. Thereby, a FICA document is prepared. Okay, so actually a FICA document is posted. This FICA document contains the complete information about the process what we have done, what accounts have been determined, what are the amounts, okay, which business process has caused the FICA document, because FICA document is a document getting posted into FICA, but origin can be different. It can be because of invoice or it can be direct posting into FICA. So that origin is understood by the main transaction, which we will come to know shortly. So FICA document is posted. The basic structure of the FICA document is it contains large amount of data, still occupies a very small space because we use the process of aggregation. So how aggregation will help, we will see. So in the FICA document, we have the complete information about what is the customer account, how much amount is debited, what are the revenue accounts, tax account, all the accounts and corresponding values are stored in the FICA document. So when you prepare the invoice, only one account is posted. That is a customer account. Sorry, the contract account. Suppose in this case, the contract account is 1000. Okay. 1000 is a contract account prepared for a business partner. The moment you prepare the invoice, this total amount of 6,900 plus 690, that will be basically 7,500, 7,590, 9 plus 6, 15. Yeah, 7,590. Okay, that's the total amount. It is the only amount which is debited to the contract account. It's the only amount what is debited to contract account. Otherwise, the revenue account like energy account, standing energy, surcharges, tax, nothing is posted. Okay. So typically how the FICA document will look like, we will see. You might have already seen the FICA document in your operations. Very similar FICA document will also be here. Okay. Now let me find out one billing document, one invoicing, how they look like, and then corresponding to invoice, what is the FICA document which has posted. So if you go to technical master data and then installation, I will give you some brief understanding of all these terminology. Actually, that is all part of ISU. So you need not go into the depth. Your focus will be on FICA, but just to get an idea what are these elements what are available here, I will give one day some brief explanation just to get understanding of the utility solution. Now installation, I'll pick it up based on a division. Let's say division is 10 electricity. There are some installations, we will take it. This is basically a utility installation for the division 10. 10 means electricity. Now, if you go to billing periods, okay, here we store all the information about what billing documents have been created, what are the meter reading results, entire list of billing document invoices, they will be available. So if I go to document, we can see here we have done billings for different periods, starting from 3008, 0108, 3008, again some manual credit memo, periodic billing. So let us take this particular period for which we have a billing document 1229. Okay. Basically, what is this billing document? This is a document what is prepared here, the ISU billing execution. When the billing execution happened, this document was created. Okay. And what is the document data here? We will see what kind of data it will have. The billing document will have basically various line items calculated, except the tax amount. There will not be any tax calculated. It will calculate various charges. Here it could be only one, but it can be having many. Okay. So here it says valid from 30th of August to 29th of August. The total quantity of consumption is 500 kilowatt hour. And for that, our prices are going to be 10 rupees. So net price is 5,000 rupees. That is the energy amount, electricity charge amount, what the account holder has to pay. But this is the net value. On this, tax is not added, the billing. Now, after the billing was done, we prepare the invoice. This is the invoice document. Okay? So that means after the billing document, we prepare the invoice, which is a print document. So 162 is the print document. This is the invoice what we print and send it to the customer or the business partner. So typically it will look like a regular invoice. The format of invoice can change from company to company. This is a general specification what you can see here, how a layout will look like for an invoice. But actual invoice layout will depend on the business. So here it says we are billing you for so and so period, and for the particular period so and so is the consumption, and then energy price is 5,000 rupees, then tax is 500, total amount you have to pay is 5,500, and you make the payment by so and so date using the attached transfer slip. So a formal invoice is prepared, and then this invoice is a legal document. We send it to the contract account holder for the payment collection. But the moment you prepare the invoice and saved it, it has posted a document in FICA. So we can go and see what is a FICA document. Go to environment and display the documents. Here you can see contract accounting document. Select it. 143 is the contract accounting document. Okay, that 143 is the document number actually, what you can say, and then continue. Basically, typically, this is how the contract account document will look like, FICA document. It has got header data, summarized business partner items, and summarized GL items. So two levels of summarization. Okay, one is the summarization at the partner items, and another is the summarization for the GL accounts. Basically, summarized business partner items means here business partner is 201 and the contract account is 1401. For this, there is a contract 133. Suppose the same contract account is having one more contract 134 or 135. Three contracts you have done the billing. So for all of them, it will show what is the amount. That means you would have done joint invoicing. So 1401 will remain the same, but there can be multiple contracts, and for each contract, what is the amount? So the total amounts will be showed summarized at the partner level. Summarized in the sense you will be adding all these items basically, like we are saying, the energy amount, standing energy amount, surcharges. So all put together, it is coming 6,900 plus tax 690. So it is summarizing the line item value and then showing posting to contract account 1401. This is a summarized value. Then summarize GL items. Okay, summarize GL items means now suppose in the same invoice we have got a GL account. The same GL account might have been used for the other contract also for the amounts. Then it will summarize the total value for each GL account. So here you can see the GL account is 8,520,000. There is the energy account, and 1,75,000 is the tax amount. So 5,000 plus 500. These are credit items. If you add them, it becomes equal to debit entry 5,500. Then if you double click the contract account, it will show what is the reconciliation account. The reconciliation GL account is 1,45,20. That means whenever you are posting to any contract account, as per the rule, whenever you are posting to any contract account, parallelly the amount should be posted to reconciliation account. But in this case, what happens when you prepare the invoice, the amount is straight away debited to contract account, but is not posting anything into financial accounting because 1,45,20 is a GL account in FI, but none of the accounts are posted. So the reconciliation account is not posted, but that information is stored in the system. Okay. Now that means we have the complete details about what accounts have been determined, each account, what is the value. Then you may have some additional payment data. If it has been done, dunning data, okay, all this will come. And suppose if this document has been paid, it has been cleared, okay. First of all, what happens? The moment you prepare the invoice and post, the FICA document has been posted, okay. The FICA document number is 143. This document will be posted to contract account, okay. So if you go to FPL9, FPL9 is the account balance, okay. This is like a complete information about what debits have happened, what credits have happened, how many documents have been cleared, what is the total balance as of today. Okay, something like our bank account. If I open the bank account, I can see how many debits have happened, how many credits have happened, and as on today, what is the balance. Okay, so likewise we can find the information here. The contract account is 1401, and if you select all items, okay, it will show both debit entries and credit entries. So if I select this and then continue, there are so many invoices we have prepared and posted, but our original FICA document is here, 143, which was basically debited. Okay, it is showing still it is open, receivables open, it has not been paid. Okay, although we have paid some other amounts, this amount has not been paid. Okay, so basically 143 is 5,500. This is the FICA document what we were saying earlier. So this FICA document is, all items. But if we select open items, then it will show only those items which have not been cleared. That means for which payment has not been received. Okay. So here you can see 143 is being shown here as open item. Now here 550 is being shown with the open item as a credit. Okay. Now when the credit open items will come, suppose you make a credit memo, or suppose you have received some payment on account. Okay. Usually what happens when you enter the payment, that payment will clear the open item. Suppose let us say 143 is the FICA document for which the open item is 5,500. This is amount due. Whenever the contract account will make the payment, we enter the incoming payment and thereby we clear the open item. That means we remove that outstanding. Okay. The moment we remove the outstanding, it will become, cleared. Then it will show the amount is cleared, and this particular open status will become paid. It is receivables are received. Okay. And then the amount is going to be listed in the payment list. If you go to the payment list, we can see what are the payments received. So far here we have not entered any payment because we did not still do the configuration here. So payment has not been entered. But what is this amount 550? It is basically not the payment entry. It is a credit memo. We have issued one credit memo. It is lying as open credit, but it has to be cleared. Okay. So if you do the account maintenance, it can do the clearing. So basically you can enter the incoming payment and then you can clear this particular amount here. Okay. So maybe we'll try to clear here invoicing we have done. Invoicing we are not yet done in this particular case. Let me go to another installation. FP, let's say ES31. Let me take installation based on division N1. Okay, division N1, 85. And then here we will see billing periods and document. So 815 is a billing document, 109 is a invoice actually. For this 109, we have got the document, the FICA document 98, and this 98 FICA document was posted to the contract account, which is basically 801. Okay, 801 is the contract account, and the total amount due from the contract account was 11,960. Okay, so let's go to the line item display in the open items, basically account balance. So the moment you prepare invoice, this amount is debited to contract account. So let me go to FPL9 and then find out the information for this particular contract account 801. FPL9, contract account is here 801, and then select all the items. Select all the items. Then in that case, here so many payments have come and some documents also have been cleared and some documents have been deleted, reversed. The process has been reversed. Okay, the FICA document has been reversed. So here, if you see, our particular FICA document is 98. Okay, so here is the 98, but this amount is still due. It has not been cleared. Okay, receivable is open. It has not been cleared. But if I enter the incoming payment, it will clear actually. Okay, so let me enter the incoming payment. That is where the process will come after this. That means FICA document has been posted. The open item has been debited to contract account. Here the contract account is 801 and the FICA document has been posted. The FICA document is basically 98. Okay, 98, and the amount has been debited to contract account as 98. It is 11,960. 11,960. Now this is one process. That means after creating the material order till invoice preparation, posting, one complete chain is happening. Now consumer will make the payment. Okay, so again what we'll do, we enter the incoming payment. Okay, the payment is entered. We can enter payment in many different ways. We'll be configuring different terms of payment, like payment at the cash desk, or payment through the check, or payment through the credit card. And sometimes we may do a lot payment entry or bank transfer. Some payment methods we are going to configure, like a bank transfer. Okay, so various methods are there by which you can record the incoming payment. Now here, incoming payment, when you make, again it is posting to FICA. A FICA document is posted. That means we are not posting directly again to financial accounting. Whereas in SD, if you have an open item for an account, if you enter the incoming payment, directly it is posting the payment to financial accounting. But in case of ISU or telecom or insurance, you have the invoice and the corresponding FICA document. When the consumer makes the payment, we basically enter the incoming payment and clear the amount which is due for that particular FICA document. But the payment is not posted directly into financial accounting. It is rather posting again to FICA. The FICA document will have the information about the GL accounts, like what is the bank account to which the amount has to be debited, what is the reconciliation account which has to be cleared. Okay, so all this information will be available, and then FICA document is posted. Then what we do, end of the day, we summarize all the FICA documents and then send it to financial accounting. So what is that process? I will explain. Before that, let me see, if I enter incoming payment, my metering to cash process will be complete. That means this is the entire process, right from creating MR order till the payment is entered and posted to FICA. The process is called metering to cash. Now I'll go to enter the incoming payment for the particular contract account. FPCD cash desk. Here I'm entering the payment through cash desk. Company code is NNN, in which I'm posting. The document date is today's date, let us say 2019. Now we are entering one reconciliation key. What is this reconciliation key? I will explain during the further learning. So let us say N900, currency INR. And then I will enter the contract account 801 and then enter. The cash desk clearing account is determined here. This is a bank account actually. Okay. Now, actually, we can configure the automatic clearing in the sense the clearing strategy can be configured here so that the system will automatically clear the open items according to some strategy. Okay. But since this is just a ISU, I did not configure here. I did not, because this was ISU course. It was not for FICA. So we don't explain them the FICA process. Only for them, the entire ISU discussion will happen. But you can customize the FICA, process for the clearing. But I can select the items here and then clear. So this particular amount, you can see 98 is the FICA document, which is still open. The amount is due as 11,960. Okay. Now customer is making this payment. That means I'm clearing this particular document. The customer can make the full payment, then I'm clearing the whole amount. If they make a part payment, let's say they paid only 11,000 rupees, then that much amount only we are clearing. But here we are clearing the whole amount. So the payment entered is 11,960. And then this is amount paid against the total payment due is 11,960. This 11,960 I can make completely as a cash payment or break it down into some two different payment methods. Let's say 5,000 I make by cash, balance by credit card or check. Okay, so different instruments can be used for entering the incoming payment, but here making by the cash. Now we'll say post and the amount will be cleared actually into the open item. Payment has been made. Okay, now continue and then come out. Now this 98, which was open document, has been cleared. The payment has been received. Okay. So now if I go to FPL9, I'll refresh it once. Again go to FPL9. That's the contract accounting documents posted. The account balance. Okay. Select all items. Now 98 was the initially due item. It was showing red. Now it is showing receivables are paid. Okay. This amount has been paid. But how this amount was paid? By a clearing document. The payment what you entered is a clearing document. Okay. So if I double click this particular document, we come to FICA document. This was the original document where we had the GL items like basically 11,960 as the amount debited. This has been cleared. Okay. So if I select 98 and then go to clearing analysis, so here you can see the amount has been cleared, and this is a clearing document. It is 10,203. What is this 10,203? This is the FICA document posted against the clearing. When you enter the incoming payment, it has actually posted to FICA. That is the document posted, and that particular document here is what you can see as the clearing document. And if I double click this, it will show a bank clearing account, cash desk clearing account is going to be debited, and the customer account has been credited. The customer account is immediately credited, but later on, when you transfer the data to financial accounting, it will be crediting the reconciliation account. Okay. So here we have entered incoming payment, and then you have cleared the open item. Okay. That means from meter reading to cash. But still the data is still only in financial accounting only, in the FICA only. It has not yet gone to financial accounting. Then what to do? We have the reconciliation key here 900. This reconciliation key 900 I have to close. Then I can transfer the data to financial accounting. Okay. So what is this reconciliation key? Why you close? That will come in the discussion in the due course of time. Right now, just to show you the process, what I'm doing, I'm going to contract account receivable and payable, document, reconciliation key, close. Our reconciliation key is the N900, enter. It is still open. If I want to use it, I can still go on using for making payment entry or invoice preparation. But once I close it, I cannot reuse it again. That means I'm making the data ready to transfer to financial accounting. Now I will say close. The closing has been done. Thereby, it will summarize the values what are to be posted to GL account. Now I will transfer the data to financial accounting. Go to periodic processing, forward posting, execution, transfer to general ledger. Okay. That means case of SD, the moment you prepare invoice, directly invoice is posted to financial accounting. The moment you enter incoming payment, directly it is posting to your what you call the financial accounting. But in case of ISU or telecom or insurance, whenever you prepare the invoice, FICA document is posted, but the system is not posting anything directly into the financial accounting. End of the day, what to do? We summarize all the FICA documents. We summarize it by using reconciliation key and then close it and then post the value to financial accounting manually. Okay. That means here we are transferring the data from FICA to financial accounting. The actual account posting will happen only when you transfer from FICA to financial accounting. So transfer to general ledger. Our reconciliation key is N900, and then list of documents created, local update, and then execute. So now it is posting the information to financial accounting, and thereby an accounting document is prepared. That means it is actually now posting into financial accounting. That means complete process is happened here, right from creating metering order till the payment has been received, and finally the payment information has been posted into financial accounting. So if I click the reconciliation key, reference key, then we can see the GL accounts have been posted. The customer reconciliation account has been credited and bank account has been debited, depending on how you transfer. Okay. Similarly, when 98 I had prepared the invoice, it was also posted into FICA, and there was a reconciliation key. So if I close that particular reconciliation key, I can send the data, but I might have used so many other postings. I have to summarize and then send the data to financial accounting. Suppose if you see 143 is a document number, which is basically, cleared. This is the document. It is the invoice, and then environment. If you see the display document, 143 is the FICA document. This 143 document was prepared with the reconciliation key 2909-2019. Okay. If I close this reconciliation key, then I can send the data to financial accounting. but it may be having so many open items because I might have used the same reconciliation key for n number of invoices. Okay, but still I can close it and then transfer. If you go to contract accounts receivable and payable, go to document, reconciliation key, close. Close the reconciliation key, enter. There are 6 summary records. We close it, and once you close it, the data can be transferred to financial accounting. So go to periodic processing. So closing, forward posting, and then execution, transfer to general ledger. And here the reconciliation key is this: list of documents, test run, execute. So now, actually, because our postings have happened on 2 different dates, actually 2909, 2909. One is company code 1000, another is NNN. Actually, I use the same reconciliation key for posting invoices for 2 different company codes, 1000 and NNN. That's why it is taking the same key. But if I select here, it is actually showing debit entry to consumption billing, GL account, energy account credited, tax account is credited. That means in every process, we have to transfer the data to the financial accounting. That means here, the FICA document is posted. Then what to do? We close the reconciliation key, and then transfer data to FI. Transfer data to FI. Similarly, when you do incoming payment, you have the FICA document posted, and then we again close the reconciliation key and then transfer to general ledger. Transfer to general ledger. That means there are 2 FICA documents here. When you prepared invoice, there is one FICA document. When you entered incoming payment, there is a FICA document. And the 4th FICA document, you are transferring it to financial accounting so that complete end-to-end process is complete. Unless you transfer data to accounting system, the process is not complete because FICA is halfway through. When you post it to FICA, the document is posted to sub-ledger accounting system. But that information you have to collect it and then send it to financial accounting manually. Okay, so this is the process what it is happening here. Okay, in general in ISU. But if you take insurance or telecom, what will be the difference? There may not be any metering order, reading the meter may not be happening, but still they are trying to find out how much consumption of talk time has happened, because for the telecom services, for the account holder, they have to find out how many calls they have made, how many STD calls, how many local calls, and it may be how much data they have used. All these are different energy parameters. All these are basically billing line items, what they may be doing billing, and then invoicing, and the FICA document. That means invoice is the starting document which we are preparing, whether it is ISU invoice or whether it is a telecom invoice or it is an insurance invoice. Okay, but once invoice is posted, the FICA is posted. Actually, FICA journey will start from here. Once you post into FICA, then the FICA processes will start happening. That means you post the FICA document, then summarize it, send it to financial accounting, then incoming payment will come. We enter the incoming payment and then again transfer to financial accounting. But between the payment entry and FICA document posted, a lot of business process will happen, like interest calculation, dunning. Okay, all these will become part of the FICA. Various transactions what you can do for the open item. That's where you're going to see the life cycle of a FICA document. So basically, here what we're saying in the industry-specific solution like ISU, FICA is a sub-ledger accounting system. It will gather the information as a result of postings which are happening in ISU, which are in the form of ISU invoices. Okay. Once the invoice is prepared in ISU, a FICA document is posted. And then whenever we do payment entry, credit memo, again FICA document is posted. And then you transfer the whole data to the financial accounting. Whenever the FICA document is posted, only one account is posted. That is your contract account. None of the accounts are posted, but all the account information will be stored in the FICA document. Then you summarize them and send it to financial accounting. So in the account balance, if you see now, the payment has been cleared actually. Okay, the amount has been cleared. So if you go to FPL9, and again you select 801, and then if you see open item, that 143 document will not show. Why? Because that we have cleared. Okay. But if you go to payment list, this is 801, right? 801, all open items. Let's say all items and then continue payment list. So here in the payment list, you can see 10203 is the FICA document, what you posted on today, 12/11, and the payment received was 11,960. So we can see here the payment details. 98 is a cleared item. This is the amount what we have received. 98 is the original FICA document what we have cleared. Okay. So this is a list of all items. But if you select open items, it will show the what you call the items which have to be yet cleared. Okay. Now this 690, what is this 690? It is a basically credit amount. There is a manual credit memo. We have to clear it. So for clearing, we can do the account maintenance that we can see later. Here account maintenance may not have been configured, but we can just see here. Go to contract account receivable and payable account maintenance. Contract account is 801 and then currency INR. Then create a proposal, open items, reconciliation key created. So we can see it is doing the account maintenance automatically. The credit items are taken and debit items are taken, and then it is trying to clear. Okay, 690 is basically a credit amount, and then 920 is a credit amount. 1840 is also credit item. They are balancing with open item 9039. So partially clearing. So we are clearing only 3,450. This 3,450 will be nothing but 920, 1840, 690. These are the credit items. Sum total is going to match 3450. We are clearing this particular open item, document number 110, amount is 9039. And then we will say save it. Automatically system will clear those open items. So whatever credit balance were there, they are now removed. Okay. If you go to account balance and see all open items, you won't see any credit amounts here. All are debit entries only. That means whatever open credit items were there, we have adjusted with the open debit items. So this is called account maintenance. This we will see in future when we are working. Okay. So basically coming back to our discussion, features of FICA as applicable to SAP IS utility. So FICA will provide the sub-ledger accounting system in ISU. Whenever you prepare any invoice, ultimately we are posting into the IS utilities and a FICA document is posted. Now, what is the origin of FICA document? The FICA document origin can be multiple reasons. Okay. How the FICA documents get created, how it is posted, in what instance the FICA document is posted. In general, we can say one is we prepare the invoice and then based on the invoice, the FICA document is posted. Okay. This is one instance where the FICA document is posted. Then what is the invoice here? Different types of invoices we prepare in ISU, like consumption billing invoice we prepare, and then based on this FICA document is posted. Or you may be preparing a budget billing document, okay, for which again a invoice is prepared and then the FICA document is posted. Or you might be doing some collective billing, okay. This is also one kind of invoice process in which the document is posted to FICA. That means origin of FICA document is coming from ISU, okay. A certain definite process is happening in ISU, which is leading into invoice preparation, and from that invoice, the document is getting posted into FICA, okay. This is the one process where FICA document is posted. What is the other instance? Incoming payment. We are entering some incoming payment, okay. The contract account holder has made a payment. We enter the incoming payment. Again, we are posting into FICA. Now here, when you say invoice, although we can prepare technically one invoice at a time, in reality, it doesn't happen that way. Because if we take telecom or insurance or ISU, you have millions of consumers. It is not possible for us to go on preparing individual invoices. We go for mass processing, okay. At a time, 20,000 contract accounts, I'm preparing the invoice, okay. Then that time system will automatically post 20,000 FICA documents. For each invoice, one FICA document. There are 20,000 contract accounts, and for each of the contract account, system will prepare the invoice. So 20,000 contract accounts, we have got 20,000 invoices posted. And for each invoice, the FICA document is posted. But there what happens, system will use the reconciliation key by itself. It will close the reconciliation key and keep the data ready for transferring to financial accounting. Then you transfer it to FI. So invoice, although technically here I'm saying always one invoice, it can be single invoice, but also it can be thousands of invoices created at a time because of the mass processing. So again, there can be different types of invoices. Okay, all these invoices when you prepare, basically what is happening, they're all getting posted into the FICA actually. Okay, and then from FICA we summarize and send it to the financial accounting. So that process we have seen. Now next important thing is, in the whenever you prepare invoice, FICA document is posted. Another invoice when FICA document is posted, whenever you enter incoming payment. Just now I showed you FPCD, which is basically a cash test payment entry where you enter the incoming payment and a FICA document was posted. What are the other reasons why FICA document can be posted? It can be due to a processing of a credit memo. Okay, it can be credit memo. In that case, what will happen? Again, the FICA document is posted. That means we actually gave a manual credit memo. Already you have done the billing and then invoice was prepared, but we have reprocessed the billing document to pass on some credit amounts to customer contract account. So again, FICA document is posted. The other reason why FICA document is posted, invoice reversals. Okay, we had prepared invoice, but we have found some error in the invoice. Okay, so now we have done the invoice reversal. Okay, when you reverse the invoice, again a FICA document is posted. That means the FICA document is getting posted because of various reasons. That reasons could be invoice posted, incoming payment posted, a credit memo, which is also one kind of invoice posted, or invoice reversal, it can be. Okay, but in all these cases, what is the origin? Certain process is happening in ISU, but there are some process where we directly make an entry in the system and a FICA document is posted. Otherwise, you can also include here SD invoice. In ISU, you prepared one SD invoice and then posted into FICA. That is also a source of FICA document. That means all these FICA documents are getting posted because of certain business processes which are happening in the particular ERP, like in ISU. Likewise, you can compare it in telecom or insurance. There are different processes where you create invoices, then ultimately they all post into FICA. Okay. But there are some processes where we directly post the information into FICA and the FICA document is posted. What are the other sources by which FICA document is prepared? Let's say, for example, I prepared a security deposit for the contract account. The contract account has to give security deposit, and that amount we are going to post into contract account as a down payment. It will remain with the company for 1 year, and you can even calculate interest on that. And once the time is finished, we can reverse security deposit, make the payment to the customer, or you can adjust with the open item. So security deposit is a FICA process. It is not coming from ISU. We directly go and prepare a security deposit. So if you go to the FICA module here, so if I go to contract account receivable and payable account, preparing, let's say, for example, security deposit. So you enter the security deposit and then post. Then when you prepare security deposit and post, a FICA document is posted. Okay. Then customer makes a payment for security deposit. Customer actually, first we request a security deposit to contract account. The moment you request, a FICA document is posted. Based on that request, the contract account makes the security deposit amount payment. Okay. Let us say 10,000 is security deposit we have requested. Naturally, customer account, contract account holder will make the payment. We enter the security deposit amount payment entry, and then it will again post to FICA. That means when you prepare security deposit, there is a FICA document posted. And when you pay the payment entry for that, FICA document is posted. Then later, after some time, you will be calculating interest calculation. we may do some interest calculation on the security deposit. Again, that document is posted into FICA. That means the idea of telling this is there are so many business processes where we directly enter the information into FICA. Likewise, suppose for example, we have done interest calculation on open items. Some customer contract accounts are open items due for a long time. As per the company rule, we are supposed to charge some interest. Okay, we calculate the interest calculations and then post. Okay, again to FICA. Now, let's say customer made the payment by check and the payment got rejected. Maybe check is dishonored. Then we make returns processing. Again, for return processing, a FICA document is posted. Some contract accounts are overdue and they're very small amounts and they're almost like become bad debts. We cannot collect them. So instead of keeping them open, we want to write off. Okay, so we'll write off the open items. Then again, it will post to FICA a document. Okay, that means you are basically, or sometimes you transfer. Okay, let's say the amount is actually open item in one contract account, but they have requested they are no more able to pay that amount. On behalf of them, somebody else will make the payment. Okay, so then what we'll do, we'll transfer the open item to another contract account. So like this, various process will happen. In all these cases, the FICA document is posted. That means one source of FICA document could be a generic business process, what is happening in the industry specific solution, like ISU for instance, or insurance or telecom. Those are the places where you prepare different types of invoices, credit memo, reversals, and then FICA is posted. But there can be so many processes which we are going to enter directly into FICA, and thereby FICA document is posted. Okay, so we are going to learn this part as well, some scenario how we get invoice prepared. But for that you have to do the configuration. Let's say one typical invoice posting in ISU will configure and one SD invoice. Okay, and then most of our thing will be concentrating here, how the FICA document. Now I can directly also make a FICA document for sundry